Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to December's Ask Me Anything. 3 questions that I've picked and we'll go through them and answer them. Now, I've tried not to think too much of these questions. Obviously I had to pick them, but the idea is this is very much me just talking stream of conscience type of video. So, question number 1. What is your process for buying a pen? Very interesting question, that one. My process has definitely evolved over time. So when I got back into pens, so that's about 4 years ago now, I was really buying a lot of pens, and I was buying a lot of cheaper pens, like pens from China, cheap pens. Like the first pen I bought was a Pilot Metropolitan. That was followed by a TWSBI Eco. So I was going for a lot of the ones that you were seeing a lot of on, YouTube, on other people's videos. I was also tending at the start to be looking at fine, extra fine nibs, because coming from my older pens that I had, they were the nibs I had on there. I had fine pens on my Parker, I had fine nibs and occasional medium nibs on my Parker Sonnet, my Parker Frontier, which were the only fountain pens I had before that. As time's gone on, I've evolved that as well. So I went from fine, extra fine, up to mediums, up to broads. Now I'm up to stubs. And I'm finding I'm really enjoying them wider nibs, especially when I'm using a chameleon ink or a shimmer ink. I find that, they're really quite nice. In terms of what I get now, I'm certainly looking at a lot of, still get China pens, but I'm also finding that I want to save more for some of the more expensive pens. And that's where a couple of years ago, I did a whole year where the only pens I bought, apart from my Chinese ones obviously, were from Australian makers. So the idea is to build that little collection of Australian pens. Now, I'm still buying Australian pens. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But what I'm also doing is I'm going back to some more mainstream pens as well. But I'm saving money for some of the more, I'm going to say expensive ones. So like last year, I bought, or should I say earlier on this year, I bought the Visconti Homo Sapiens, waited till it was on offer in the January sales. Next year in January, I'm hoping to have enough saved to get a Pelican M1000. I've got an M200, really like it. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the M1000 which calls me. And what I'm finding is, with the pens I am buying, I'm trying to go for something which is different or unique, or I just plain like the look of. So, like the Diplomat Aero, I've got a Diplomat Aero. I don't need any more. It's a good example. My Narwhal, I've got a couple of Schuylkills, I've got a couple of Key West, I've got a couple of Nautilus models. Don't really need any more. I know they keep coming out with different models. My Leonardos, again, I've got a Memento Zero Grande, I've got a Magico that's roughly the same size as a Memento Zero. I've got the Ferrari. Don't really need any more. If they come out with a really pretty pattern, yes, I'll go for it. So yeah, I'm trying to go for a wider spread rather than focusing in on specific pens, specific manufacturers. I'm just trying to get, a wide, broad swathe. That may change. As the year goes, not the year goes on. There's only, about a month left. That may change over next year. I might find that I want to go and focus on one specific manufacturer, just to do a deep dive. So when I'm buying a pen, I know this is really long answer for what I thought was going to be a really quick one. When I buy a pen, what I tend to do, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos if I can. I like watching YouTube. I can see them writing, how they write. I try to watch from a number of different sources. The problem is you watch one person, you get their view. You watch 3 people, you've got 3 people's views, which you can then start to coalesce and in towards what your view may be. And that's the first step. Then I spend time, if it's a Chinese pen, it's dead simple. AliExpress. I go to AliExpress. I've tried Temu, I've tried eBay. I just find AliExpress is, the best price for here in Australia. Search for the model. And then I go through lots of different ads for that same model to find one with a nib that I like, ideally a medium nib. And also the prices are all different, but I make sure when I'm looking at the prices, I look at the shipping cost as well. Because, you might get something which looks like it's $2 cheaper, but there's no shipping included, so you end up paying more. For non-Chinese pens, I then start looking through websites. Unfortunately, I avoid US-based websites purely because of shipping costs. Shipping from the US is a stupid price. What I tend to do is I'll look at Desk Bandit and Pulp Addiction here in Australia. If I can, I'd like to get something from an Australian retailer. I'll look at Cult Pens over in the UK and Apple Boom in Apple Boom is in Amsterdam, not Amsterdam, Holland or the Netherlands. I can't remember the name of it. There's a site from Italy that I look at. I also look at the manufacturers' websites. And again, what I'm doing is looking for the pen that I want with the nib that I want with the price that I want. So yeah, that's really my process for buying a pen. Question 2. This will be a quicker one, I hope. What do you listen to? I listen to podcasts. One of my very first lives, I actually went through all the podcasts that I listen to, but I've cut that down. I've added some new ones in. But I'm very much into podcasts. I like the spoken word. Music-wise, I don't listen to a lot of music. I actually find music distracting. And I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? If I do, I'd listen to Dire Straits or Martin Knopfler. To be honest, I like stuff from the 70s, 80s and 90s, like the older style. I like rock type music. I like country and blues. Bit unsure about country music, but country and blues I quite like blues music. But yeah, I would say 98% of what I listen to are podcasts, and they're mainly tech related. There's some pop culture ones, a lot of science based ones, a lot of skeptic type ones, just to get a wide variety of different opinions, which I think really works well. What I would say is I listen to as well a lot of when I'm at my desk and working away is if I don't have a podcast to listen to, I'll have YouTube videos playing just in front of me. Again, not really paying 100% attention. So there I'd focus on more pop culture, more like techie stuff where I don't need to 100% be focusing on it. But yeah, spoken word, definitely. Question number 3. Do you have any advice to improve penmanship or handwriting? There's only one piece of advice I can give you. Write. Doesn't matter what you write. Write. Maybe slow down when you're writing. Think about what you're doing. But write, that's the key thing. So you'll see my shorts every day. This is the current one. I mean, it's only a cheap notepad. I don't go for expensive notepads for these. What I do every morning when I get up, sit down in front, I have my coffee first. I sit down and then I write my quotes. So I do 2 pages. As you can see here, I use 2 different pens. So I have a pen of the day and a pen for the week. I write the quotes and I think about them. Then in the second pen is I write my thoughts or my response to them. I started doing that because I wanted to improve my penmanship. When I'm scribbling notes to myself, it's very different. Here's one. I'm not sure if that's in the camera. That's more scribbly. Is there any? Yeah, there we go. There's some more scribbly ones. Just to give you an idea. But when I'm doing these, by doing it for the video and committing to a daily video, what that means is I'm getting consistent practice. So every single day, I'm sitting down. It takes me about 15, 20 minutes to do this writing because I like to go a little bit slower. Think about what I'm doing and practice. That's the only thing I can say. Practice, practice, practice. So that's today's 3 questions. Have you got any questions you'd like me to answer? Please drop them in a comment, send them via email, get them to me any way you want, maybe even on a live stream. I'd love to get questions to answer in future videos. As I say, the plan, 3 questions each month. So please drop those questions to me. Thank you all, and I'll talk to you again soon.